All right, we're back again, episode 3.
Episode 3.
All right.
So, guys, you've probably noticed that the visuals and the audio is crazy. And guess why?
We just want to give a shout out to Yusuf for blessing us with the visuals, the audio.
Ridiculous. Even as we're recording it every time, we're just amazed at how good the audio production is and the visuals as well. Come on now.
We feel lucky.
Uh-huh.
I feel like this means that it was meant to be, you know?
So, big shout out to you. So come on now.
Bam, 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 bam.
If you want to get in touch with him, we'll basically shout us.
Just message us. If you need content, Yusuf got you.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going on to episode 3.
Episode 3.
And again,
it's one of my favorite ones, to be fair, actually. Topic is going to be goal setting.
I'm one of your hosts, Junior, and that's Do-Me.
It's Do-Me.
And we're doing goal setting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, first point to start off with would be why should we be setting goals?
Okay.
Yeah. So, you can go
so when we have these conversations, guys, we might reflect back to the other videos because we're trying to give it a little thread on how we go about our things.
Yeah.
So some things are going to link with each other, okay?
To be fair, I think a more accurate description of that is that they're all going to link together because it's all part of one thing.
Okay.
And because it all goes back to self-awareness and basically knowing who you want to be and what you want to be and just trying to get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we always, on the first episode, go back to the first episode, listen to the first episode, we talk about vision. Vision is the first point of protocol when you're putting your goals down, okay? Knowing who you are, knowing where you want to be, and knowing what legacy you want to leave behind or what goals you want or what things you want to achieve is where you start for setting your goal. So go back, go on self-awareness, look at yourself, look at your strengths, your weaknesses, your gifts, whatever you're gifted in, and then you go from there. So goal setting to me is when you have specifically figured out what exactly you want to do.
Yeah.
Specifically figured out what you want to do, or figured out a few things that you want to do. Whether it is you want to earn $1 million by 35, that's a specific goal.
Dollars, yeah.
Pounds. I'm sorry, guys. Too many American shows that I watch. But yeah, £1 million, if that's a specific goal, you set that goal and then you start to do the process to get to that goal.
Yeah. So, my analogy of like goal setting is that, right, first of all, you've got to know where you want to go, right? If you don't know, then picture this as a scenario, right? Let's take a ship, for example, right? So this ship, right, whatever the captain, well, basically, if you put a captain in there, right, the captain is going to make sure he navigates that ship to get to a certain point. Like the ship has to go from point A to point B, or point A, B, C, D, and then final stage is E or whatever, right? Now imagine, let's take the captain out of that ship now, right? And then you try and you want this ship to get to a certain destination. That's not going to happen, is it?
No.
Let's face it, because you don't know what direction that ship's going to go.
One, if you don't have a driver and you don't have a captain who can navigate it, then you're not going to get there.
Where's it going to go?
Yeah.
You don't know. So then, like, that's an analogy of like life itself. If you want to get somewhere, you have to put the navigation in, right? Put it in the navigation and then work your way there. Otherwise, if you don't do that and just say like, listen, I'm just going to hope for this to happen, right? And just leave it out to luck.
Leave it out there, yeah.
You will end up somewhere, and then that's where people say, oh, you know what? It is what it is, sort of thing.
It's like the saying, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, taking what Doomy's saying, just thinking about what Doomy's saying about the ship. To be honest with you, when you set your goal, like you have a destination to go to and you have a captain and you navigate, you're going to take in consideration the weather.
Yeah.
If there's going to be a storm that week,
But
you're going to take in consideration. This comes with goal setting. So what I'm trying to say, you want to go to that goal and you want to achieve that goal. And when you have the goal or where you're going as a ship, you're going to have to take into consideration the weather, the crew you're going to have, the problems that might come, and you'll be prepared. You'll be well prepared because, as they say, if you don't prepare, then prepare to fail, type of thing.
failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Basically.
Yeah.
So basically, once you have that goal and you set your goal, it might be a crazy goal. You sit down and you look at that goal and think, yo, what is it that could happen? How when I'm going after this goal and I'm getting there, what is it that could happen that would deter me or would distract me and you take all those things in account. Like you're ready for all the worst case scenarios. Sometimes you might not be ready for them, but at least you're more prepared. Mm-hmm. At least if something hits you, you're gonna be, oh, I didn't see that coming. Mm-hmm. But those little things, it's like you have a structure plan of your life and you have a direction. Mm-hmm. And you have a goal and you're achieving something.
Mm. So the key word there is direction, which is what we're trying to drive in there, is that like having direction is a very, very important thing in life, because you will have a direction. It just depends on whether you choose that direction or not. And that's where the goal setting comes in. You set your goals and you're choosing your direction. If you don't set your goals, then you're letting
other people choose your direction. Because what normally happens if you don't have goals, people tell you what they expect you to do. Mm-hmm. People tell you what they think you're good at. Yeah. People put their vision of your life onto you.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, they will use you to get
to their goals. Yeah. They'll use
that's how it works. Like it's how people who are going somewhere will always have goals, and if you don't have goals, then people are going to use you to achieve their goals. Yeah. So then you get to a point where like you might resent yourself.
Bro, I never thought of it like that. That's fire, bro. You know what I mean? That's fire.
Yeah.
So, because like if you don't have goals, that person, you can fall for anything.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a set road that you're following. So if someone comes and tries to sell you something or dress something nice to you, you're going to be like, oh, that's interesting. And you're going to go for it and maybe purchase whatever he's selling.
Yeah.
Or maybe invest time on that person. Or they may even say, come with me, work with me on this. And then they're using you to work and achieve their goal.
Yeah, because
damn,
you've got no reference point to say, oh, actually, going back to last episode, what I said was that, is this going to hurt me or is it going to help me? Do you know what I mean? Like, is this in line with what I'm trying to do? Because if you don't have that reference point, you're finished.
This is true. This is true.
And then you end up this is what I'm saying. So imagine doing that for the rest of your life, right? And you get old, and then you're looking back, and then you think, right, what have I actually done with my life?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the biggest, this is one of the things that scares me the most. Actually, is because like. If I didn't have any direction of where I wanted to go, right, and I live my life and I get to a point where I'm like, I haven't actually done anything or done anything that I wanted to do. That is one of the scariest things for me.
Bro, let me tell you something, yeah. I work with cancer patients, yeah. Working with cancer patients, you meet people that are going to die and they know they're going to die.
Yeah.
And you have two people who react different to those type of things.
Yeah.
When you meet someone that's about to die, that has never tried to do what they want to do in life, they always have this, man, I should have tried that more. I should have done more. I should have spent more time with my kids. I should have. Then you meet someone who says, yo, I did everything. Like if I go now, then so be it.
Yeah.
I really want to reach my deathbed and be like, yo, I tried. Whether I failed or didn't get there, I put my goals down. Yeah. Whether I tried.
Yeah, man.
And that's one thing one patient once said to me is I achieved most stuff. Yeah. And the things I didn't achieve, at least I tried. Yeah. I can say to myself, I did my best. I just didn't get there.
So this is another thing, isn't it? Like regret is like it's one of the stinkiest things. Like you're talking about obviously cancer patients and whatnot, yeah. So old people, like I like having like conversations with like older people, right? Who I don't know, maybe 80 or something, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah.
And they always say in some shape or form, right, that they don't regret the things they did, but they regret the things that they wish they had done.
Yeah.
So the things that they done, even though like they didn't materialize into what they thought they would be, it was still an experience that they value, right? And they're happy that they made those mistakes. So what I'm trying to say is, like, if you don't have any direction, you won't push yourself to do something, for example.
Yeah.
And if you don't push yourself to do something, then you know innately, like, that's what you need to be doing, right? I'm just afraid that if I don't do that, I'm going to regret it at the end of my life. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do at that point to change it.
Yeah.
And that's scary for me.
Yeah,
which is why I set goals, because I need, there's certain things that I need to do before I check out.
I just feel like there is a beauty and a joy in life when you're constantly evolving and becoming better.
Come on, bro.
I don't. Yo, you guys look at me, guys. In fact, let me take these glasses off real quick. Listen, yeah. When you are becoming a better person and you see yourself better than you were last year, there is a beauty, and there is such a man.
It's true, man. It's true.
We as human beings are meant to grow and evolve, and even when you see your kid grow and evolve and become a better, can talk now. Now she can walk, or like, it's so beautiful to see that evolving. How can you not want to have that for your life and just coast? Like, why coast? But anyway,
that's glasses back on, yeah. And this is again, like, you have to remember, like, these are things that are working for us. We the things that we say, right? We might sound pretty confident about what we're saying. It's because, like, it's working for us, and we're pretty confident that, like, it can work for other people as well. Fair enough, you may have to adjust and adapt to what's going on, but it's one of those things where it's like these are powerful things that, like, we're doing, like, on a day-to-day basis, and just, like, zoning in on things like this. And that it's like we feel honestly, right, that when we're giving this information out to people, and because, listen, at the end of the day, we could just sit down and just talk about this amongst ourselves.
But we feel like
no, hold on a minute.
But the reason why this started anyway was because we have this conversation together, and we thought, like, you know what? I wish when I was younger, I had someone talk to me about some of these things. Simple, or not even younger. Now, that's not even saying that our audience has to be young. Just have someone to talk to about these type of things. Like, it's great. Like, but yeah, let's go on to writing down goals. So there's long-term goals, short-term goals, and let's talk about.
We'll start with the long-term first.
And let's cover in that with the goals part is big goals and small goals. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of like the same thing. Yeah.
So I mean, we covered why, right? First of all, now it's okay. What goals should you be setting, or effectively the strategy behind it? So what works for me is, obviously I'd look at it's big goals and small goals, right? And the way I look at it as, my big goals are my long-term goals, and my small goals are short-term. Obviously, that's the easiest way to explain it. Now, with the long-term goals, obviously, I've just been speaking about getting to the end of my life and regretting things that obviously I didn't do, or I wanted to do that I didn't do, and that's a scary point for me. So, right, to counteract that, right, I'm setting long-term goals now. So it's like 20, 30-year goals, right, that I need to basically see through. And that's a difficult process, man, because like you're thinking like you don't even know what the world's going to be like in 30 years time. You don't even know, because you could change a lot within the next 5 years. But the point is, my point is, right, like I said, it's that direction thing. Like you need to set, or I set my direction for myself.
Yeah.
And I decided this. I've been looking for answers, as in, okay, what am I on this planet for, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I stumbled across a message that said, dude, like, listen, you decide what your purpose is on this planet. Like,
It's like the law of attraction, man.
yeah.
What you think will manifest in life.
Yeah.
I believe that. I believe you attract what you constantly have on your mind. If you're a negative person and you think negative all the time, negative things are always going to happen to you. If you're a positive person and you think positive all the time, you're going to have a lot of positive outcomes.
Yeah.
I believe whatever you think about and whatever you envision in your mind, you can manifest into life. No matter what the world can be in 30 years, as long as you have that vision, I'm sure you can get it or achieve it or get close enough to it.
This is it.
If you see it and you write it down.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I think I also touched on this earlier as well. Is 30-year game plan. I've already got it down. I'm not going to reveal it right now because it's a bit. it might scare some of you guys, and you might look at me and think, "What?" But maybe I might share it. You never know. But it's one of those things where it's like this 30-year goal, I felt personally, or these 30-year goals, they have to be so much bigger than me, and so way past my capabilities right now, because I know I'm going to grow within those 30 years from now to then. I know I'm going to grow significantly.
Yeah.
And I will force myself to grow into that sort of position.
Okay, I got you.
And writing these goals down is basically a reference point to say, okay, how am I getting closer to this every day? So writing them down every day, so long term and short term, right, is how I keep my reference point. And then, because it's like, I'm sure people have heard this as well. It's like, you know when you actually write your goals down and then you go to sleep, it's actually amazing that your brain actually goes to work, right, to figure out the answers that you need to hit those goals.
Yeah.
And that's crazy, because when you're actually sleeping, your brain takes in that information. So I'll give you an example, right? Imagine on a simplistic level, you know when you watch a horror film at night?
Yeah.
Yeah? And have you ever noticed sometimes, you have like some weird sleep, like you have weird dreams, right? That is your brain going into work, because it's
That's the last thing you saw.
That's the last thing you saw, right? And then it's digesting that information, right? And it's adding it into all the experiences.
Your unsubconscious mind will start working.
Yeah.
Because that was the last thing it saw.
That's the last thing it saw. So then it makes it even a bigger deal, and then you might even wake up a little bit anxious, or sometimes I used to love watching like murder mysteries and whatnot, because that stuff is crazy, yeah. But I always used to notice, like I'll wake up the next morning and I'll be feeling a bit weird, like I'm off a bit.
Oh, okay, I get what you mean.
Just what I'm saying.
I get what you mean.
You feel a bit, I don't know, it was like tangled inside. It was just weird.
Okay, I get you. It's because of what those programs brought to you.
Yeah.
But this goes in with what we're saying about the self-discipline part, that you end up watching things that help you achieve your goal. So what he's saying is what helps him achieve his goal is writing down his goals, so that when he goes to bed, his brain is just thinking about them. I mean?
And it works. It actually works on the problems that I have.
So we have different styles. Though we're very close friends, we have different styles. I write mine on the board. Every single goal is written down.
So I do that too.
I know.
Yeah,
but you write yours down every night.
Yeah,
I just wake up and I look at mine.
Yeah.
And I speak them to myself.
Yeah.
I don't write them down. It's like for instance, one of my goals is I want to read 40 books a year. Yeah. When I wake up, I say I'm going to read 40 books a year. I say it. I am going to read 40 books a year. I'll go through my list and I say it out loud and to myself. Every goal I have, I say it out loud and to myself, and I say I am going to be no. I am going to be no.
Yeah.
But I think we want to try to say to you about long-term goals and short-term goals is, for instance, one of my goals, I'll say it, I'm putting it out there. Hopefully it happens.
I'll drop mine too, to be fair.
I'll drop one. But the reason why we're going to say this is like, I want to become a multimillionaire. Okay? And I've wrote down a certain figure I want to achieve by a certain age. I'm going to tell you the figures, but I'm telling you that I want to become a multimillionaire. Because sometimes, you know, if you speak your goals to some people, you know, though. Listen, African cultures, yeah, you don't speak your goals to everybody because those people who
They'll work against you, man.
So normally what we say is don't speak something and don't say something to everything. Don't say something to everybody before it actually happens sometimes, because if it doesn't happen,
well, who you don't know who's working harder
to make you not achieve it.
Yeah, you or the person that's trying to make you not achieve it. You've got to be careful who you share that kind of information with, anyways.
So I want to be a multimillionaire, and I don't want to be a multimillionaire for myself. I want to learn how to be successful in life so that I can offload that to my family and teach these skills to my family. Leave a legacy behind that leaves our family in a better position, our kids in a better position. And the people around us, our friends, I want to grow. I want to have a footprint in this world. That is, I want that, and I feel like all of us have a certain passion inside them. I don't know what it might be for you, but to write down that long-term goal, the big picture of what you want to achieve, is what you have to do. Yeah, and then now you say to yourself, okay, this year, the short-term goal part is this is the short-term goal. This year, what am I doing to help me get to that long-term goal? This year, okay? Then you write down your small goals. So I want to be a multimillionaire. So I'm saying this year, I need to find a way of increasing my pay. This year, I need to find something I can invest in that makes me more money. And when I say multimillionaire, I want to be worth a millionaire. I don't want to be earning it. I want to be worth it. If that makes sense. Wealth and earning it is different. There's cash flow, but I want to be worth my assets, everything around me. I want to become a multimillionaire. But your big picture is your big picture. Your short picture is your short picture, okay? That year, you work on it. Say, I want to increase my wage. I want to invest into this. I want to get into this. Different levels of income to get to your big goal. Because they say every millionaire has 6 or 8 different streams of income, something like that.
Sometimes even more, man.
Even more. But then it's just finding out ways. And how you find out these ways? Reading, talking to people, networking, finding out things, but purposefully going after it.
Yeah.
The thing about goals are going to give you that direction to purposely try and seek out the information that you need to seek out to get to that point.
Yeah. And another thing is, it's like the information will actually come to you because
it's in your mind.
You're seeking that information. It will naturally come to you as well.
As they say,
it works for you. Like, yeah.
You're right. That's as I was saying to you guys, the law of attraction. Manifest it, think it, sit down, write it. I'll give you an example. Have you ever read a book? Have you ever learned a lesson, and then a situation comes in your life, and you're like, "This is what I just learned recently," and you have to apply it. Yeah. Do you know what normally happens with me? I read a book. Let's say I read the book, or I read the Bible, or something like that, and I've read a specific chapter in that thing. Because I'll be thinking about it constantly. Something always happens where I have to apply that knowledge.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Does it happen to you?
Yay.
All the time.
100%.
I remember there was a time. What did I learn? I need to remember what I learned. I can't remember what it was exactly, but I had learned a lesson. Oh yeah, temper. I learned that controlling your temper, and that you lose a lot by submitting to your feelings. Sometimes we submit to our feelings. Sometimes you got to think about why you're acting the way you act, and take a seat back and think about it and say, what is my goal of why I'm doing what I'm doing to this person? Why am I angry, really, right? And then I just took a seat back, find out why I'm angry, and I was like, you know what, is it worth it? Let me talk to them and see if I can find a different route of finding it. But after I would read something about anger, but then because I was thinking about it all day, something came up and I was like, yo, I have to apply this now, and I have to apply it. And I feel like that's the law of attraction. Whatever's in your mind, as you said, you're manifesting it. It actually comes into your body, and I feel like it happens in your life.
Yeah, that's 100% true. And so, just to stay on that as well, right? Just to stay on that, thinking about it, right? When you're writing these goals down, right? Like you want to get to a point, right, where you're just writing them without having to try to remember them. And another important thing that you said is also, I didn't mention it, but I also do that, is that when I'm writing it, I'm actually saying them as well whilst I'm writing them.
Yeah, I do that too.
Do you know what I mean? So because you've got to speak into existence, man.
I always add as well.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah,
that thing.
exactly. So I write it down as if for my own, I write it down as if it's already happened. Like I'm already in that position. So then that puts me in that mind frame. So then I'm basically just all I'm doing now is working from the back to front sort of thing, because I'm just trying to work my way there. I know I'm going to get there, right? But I just need to do the little things that I need to do to sort of get there.
Okay, guys, as well. So, like, I know we're making it sound so simple to do this thing, but it's not that simple.
It really isn't.
And I'm going to say this as well. So there's some of the goals that I've wrote, like even me, right now, I want to be a multimillionaire. It's something you desire, but you don't see it. You sometimes don't even believe that is impossible. I'm not going to lie to you. You don't.
Yeah.
But you're trying to train your brain to say, listen, the sky's the limit. There is a quote that was once given to me, and that's how I changed how I set my goals. I aim now for the most highest things that I would have never ever thought of. Is people that say impossible. I think it was an African kid that said this to me, when I met him. I don't know. He was like 10, he was like 12, and we had a football tournament.
Yeah.
And like he was like, I'm gonna make it. And I was like, Tim, what makes you think you're gonna make it? Because listen, impossible is a word that is used by small men that are scared to chase what their inner being has showed them.
God damn it. Let's get the clap in there real quick. Get that clap in there real quick. Jesus.
Bro, a 12-year-old said that to me.
That's mad.
He said you have to think that you are worthless for you to think that is impossible.
Bro.
Have you watched the Michael Jordan program?
Of course, yeah.
Do you that man's self-belief in himself is what made him the best basketball player in the world.
It's mad.
I think there's a point where he cries in the video where he says, listen, you cannot be on my team if you do not believe you're great.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. If you do not think you're great, you can't be on my team. And this man cried.
He was something else, that guy, man. Like, let's be real. It was something else. But, I mean, you shared one of your big goals. I'm going to share one of my big goals as well. Is that I think my whole essence in life, I decided, is that I want to build a charity, like in Malawi. That's where I'm like originally from. My family's from there. And it's basically for kids and teach them. Like, it's going to be entrepreneurship schools, basically, right? Because those kids that are like in the streets and are trying to sell stuff, right? They're looked down upon. But in fact, they've actually got the formula right. Like, they're going out, basically, getting involved in commerce and then exchanging goods for services and coming back. No boss involved there, right? So imagine if they're doing that, if somebody told them, you know what, you're actually doing the right thing, right? And then you encourage them and build the self-confidence.
Yeah.
And then basically help them to get to do that on a larger scale. Imagine, because Malawi is not a big country, so I think it's about 16 million people there. But imagine like breeding a whole generation of kids that think like that. That is going to change the country, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then for me to be going out there, because I want to build 30 schools across the country, right? And for me to do that, I need to basically be talking from a point of experience. So then it goes back to how, I need to be a fully fledged entrepreneur myself, all right, and have multiple businesses. And then, so I'm talking from a point of experience. So then it goes back, okay, cool. So that's my long-term goal, which probably I can't do now. But okay, what are my other like medium to short-term goals? And then I dive into that, right? And then I'll say, okay, cool. Well, I need to obviously, if I'm going to be teaching about entrepreneurship, I need to be an entrepreneur myself. So what businesses do I have, right?
Yeah.
Right? Or what businesses can I build? And then on top of that, okay, what kind of person do I need to be?
Yeah.
All these kind of questions that I'm asking myself help me like write my goals down. And then once I've written them down, like I said, it's game over. So that's a little process that I use that I think you guys can use as well. To be fair,
Picking back up on that point about the whole Malawi thing, that's how he sets. He said that's how he sets his goals. Okay,
Yeah.
so like, I hope this is helping you guys think about your goal setting and the goal setting process. One thing I also say is the situation you're in now when you set your goals is far away from your long term goals.
Nothing to do with it.
It doesn't mean nothing to do with it. But one thing you have to start to do is say to yourself, I need to think differently now. I need to think differently now if I want to get there. I have to have different traits, characteristics. I got to discipline myself and build habits that will get me there.
Yeah.
Habits, whether it's habits of reading books, whether it's habits of training more,
Self-discipline.
whether we're going back to what we were talking about, all these things, is you got to realize that your mindset has to change. Your self-belief has to change. And the people around you have to change. Those people have to be people that you're going to meet people that will make you think differently and think of yourself bigger. One thing we try and aim as our friend in our friendship group is to push each other and to talk about stuff and say, what is your vision? Well, then if I say, I want to get here, then we say, nah, bro, why don't you go higher than that? You need somebody that will make you think, I can't do that. Then your friend tells you, bro, why can't you do that? You can do that.
That's gold. Like you need to be around people like that are gonna basically tell you to aim higher, and say why not? You know, instead of asking you why, they'll ask you, well, why not? Why not do that? And the thing is, anything is possible in life, man.
Yeah.
Like we touched on things that are impossible. Like, okay, let me put it this way, for example, right? So let's go back to the guys that invented an airplane, right? So imagine having this conversation with them. This is before any aircrafts are in the air, right? And they're saying that, and they sat you down and they said, yo, listen, we're gonna build a machine, and this machine is going to fly from point A to point B.
There.
Like, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? Because you have to wind back then. Obviously, now you're used to aircrafts and you've got fridges and freezers in there and all sorts of air conditioning. Back then, that is a ridiculous conversation to have. But they weren't looking at, okay,
their
they
mindset.
know then. Yeah, exactly. They were looking at way ahead. They're looking way ahead. And then so the mindset was that they're already in that scenario. It was just a case of like manifesting that situation.
How do we do it?
A lot of people would have told him, you know what, that's ridiculous. You can't do that.
But then you got to seek the information that will help you get there as well sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes you even create it yourself, to be honest with you. But you have to read. You got to talk to different people. You got to change your mindset. I think what keeps you where you are is your mindset. That will always keep you where you are.
So
I think we've done enough for this episode. Goals. Set goals, please, people. Set goals.
Set long-term goals.
Whether it's small, whether it's big, I really just want you to get in the habit of setting goals first. Yeah. But set goals. Even start small. Even say to yourself, as we said, it takes 21 days to build a habit. Set a goal. Say for 21 days, I want to start working out. 21 days. Your body get used to it. You get used to it. It becomes a lifestyle.
And then
it becomes a habit. It becomes a lifestyle.
Another thing on top of that is, like, I don't know if anybody thrives off this, but like, I personally have a thrive off a sense of achievement. So it's one of those things where if I don't set a goal, I don't really know what I've achieved for the day. It's a much sweeter victory. Yeah.
And like, you know, when you, like, I'll give you this quarantine thing, right? We're all in quarantine, right? When you just let the days coast.
Yeah, I can't do that, man.
But the thing, I feel like that drives you mad because you end up finding yourself like thinking, I got nothing to do.
Dude, I get frustrated.
What I used to do every day was say, tomorrow, what am I going to do? And write a little list for myself. Okay, I'm going to read this book for an hour. I'm going to watch this program for an hour. I'm going to cook at this time. I'm going to go for a run at this time. I tell you this, that made my days go quick, nice. I was not stressed. I'll call my mom for an hour. I'm going to text my uncles. I'm going to literally, listen, I filled my days up the night before on a piece of paper. Yeah. That wasn't just a goal of saying that's the goal for today, to like tomorrow, just to get through the day. Because you go mad being at home all the time and not doing nothing. Well, so
I can't.
What you were saying is right.
Firstly, I can't remember the last time I was actually bored
I can barely.
Yeah, because like I've always got like my mind is always full because I'm always looking to that long term goal, right? I'm looking at that long term goal, and I'm like, there's no way I can have that conversation with myself and say, well, I'm bored. Like that's lying to myself because I've got that big thing to hit, right? So
It's constantly in your mind.
There's so many, yeah, it's constantly in my mind. There's so many things that I should be doing and could be doing.
I
So
think, yeah, I get what you're saying.
do you know what I mean? So it's one of those where it's like, well, if I'm saying I'm bored and I've got this big goal to hit,
What the hell am I doing in my time? Why am I?
exactly.
What I need to be doing something to get there.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and the thing is, I feel like when you have vision, how you see everything just comes flowing in your mind every time we have these conversations. When you have goals and you're written down your goals and you have like a vision in your mind, the reason why you're like, me and Doomy always say this, like, sometimes we just need to distance ourselves from people. Sometimes me and him would disappear for a minute. Like, you won't hear from us. We don't want to talk to somebody. We just not in the mood for energy, right? Type of thing. And I feel like it's because our minds are always trying to put more energy and get into where we want to go to.
Yeah.
That sometimes we feel drained when we're doing those other activities.
Yeah.
Because when we come back and want to do what we're passionate about and want to achieve, you're like, yo, I'm tired, bro. And then you're like, yo, I'm tired. I'm not restored. I've given all that energy to something else. So sometimes we are so focused on trying to get to our goals and we're enjoying the process. Don't forget it. You end up not feeling lonely or isolated. You end up feeling like a self-purpose.
It's the long term thing. Yeah, I don't have time to be bored.
I feel like the only time you feel lonely and bored is when you don't have nothing to do with your life.
I really don't have time to be.
Don't you think so?
Yeah, but
Or maybe I'm not, guys. Remember, we're not gurus. We're not saying what. We're just giving you guys what we've learned with our lives.
Yeah, I think for me, it just boils back down to the scenario whereby if I don't have any long term goals, then I'll probably would become bored.
Yeah.
Because I've got nothing to aim for and nothing. It's like so far. Listen, like it's so far out. This.
Do you know how much money? Do you know how much money you spend when you have no direction?
Yeah. That's crazy.
You spend stupid money on stupid things when you have no direction.
Yeah.
You just go with the wind.
Yeah.
When you have direction, everything is planned. Every penny is planned. Every time, every second is. We all have 24 hours in a day. Sometimes someone can ask you, that guy has the same 24 hours. Why is he further than you? I'm not saying compare yourself to somebody. It's just saying to yourself, be more purposeful about your time and make it more healthier for you, mentally and physically. I'm not saying don't go out and have fun with your friends. We're not saying that. We're saying we also want to have fun. We want to have connections. Each goal has to be different. You can have family goals. You can have friend goals. You can have life goals, career goals. You can change all of these things and have a balance in your life where we're not only talking about career goals, we're talking about goals in anything. You can have family goals where you say to yourself, I want to spend every weekend with my mom. You can have self-development goals. I want to read certain smart books a day. You can have career goals. By the time I want to be CEO by this time. And you can have friendship goals where we say, as my friends, I just want to travel more with them. We meet whenever times you can meet. It's just having a balance with everything. The goal setting just gives you more direction. Yeah. And it makes you cover everything nicely. And because sometimes if you focus on one thing too much, something else suffers. If you focus on work too much and you work too much, your family life might suffer. Your friendship life might suffer. And everyone's like, you don't spend enough time with us. If you focus on your friends and your family life more, your job might suffer.
It's just you got to find that balance yourself, really.
Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this episode. It's a very.
The thing is, right? We could carry on with this because we're only touching the tip of the iceberg here. We
love this topic.
There's because obviously you're just talking about like the different areas that you can set goals in. We can happily go into that, but obviously we don't want to make the thing too long. So I think maybe that's a conversation for another day in terms of like different avenues.
I think it's more of a contact us if you want us to talk to you guys about these things.
Yeah.
We'll put our Instagrams and stuff and emails if you guys want. But tell us what you guys want. But like, comment, share it. Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed the goal setting because we did. I enjoyed it.
That's it.
By the way, if you guys want to come on this show, you tell us, DM us. I'm not saying that we're going to accept everybody, and if we don't accept you, it might not be because it's not because we think you're not good enough. We're just, it might not fit what we envision this show to be like. Okay, we don't want to discourage anybody, but do come on the show.
Okay, thanks for joining us, guys. Until next time. Peace.